Right.
You know, and allowed me to allow you to reintroduce yourself.
So, my name is Khalique. Kalique. But I go by Leak. Lique.
Yeah.
Just to keep it simple.
Something simple, yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, you know, I must admit I got a lot of feedback. A lot of feedback.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah, that's, you know what I mean?
Let's talk about it.
And I feel like this is the feedback I received from the women was in your favor. You know what I mean?
What they say?
It was pretty much like, see, he understands, you know, sometimes, you know, a man can't handle it all, you know, and, you know, you need you know, your number one person in your life is your woman and this and that, this and that. And I was like, okay, you know, I was very I understood that, you know what I mean?
Right.
Part two with the men. Right?
Right.
And I'm kind of on this side too, because I feel like we can't do that with every woman. They don't have that capability. And I loved how you explained the story the first time. You know what I'm saying? It was
when you say do that, what is that?
You mean like certain people don't have those traits? You know what I mean?
What traits are they?
Like, you know, first of all, I think your wife's an extraordinary woman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You know, a lot of people. There's not too many people on that caliber.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's like a reality factor. You know what I'm saying? And like I always said before, I no matter how good I'm doing in life or how bad I'm doing in life, or or when I'm in my greatest times.
Right.
No matter what, I will always look at the woman as the prize. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I felt like, you know, with that show, our first show, you did that. So that's why I was just like, okay, I understand. Okay, I understand. Yeah. Because it's still a mentality that no matter what, your greatest prize is the woman, not to... What's the word I'm looking for? Oh.
It's okay to leave it where it's at.
Yeah, okay. That's a powerful statement, right? Yeah, okay. You know? But like, I think what we have to do is the goal of this show. You know what I mean? Is separate the good from the bad, or you know, because sometimes you know the loudest voice in the room is saying the most nonsense. You know what I'm saying? And just off the feedback I was getting, you know what I mean, and got a lot of views, you know what I mean? So I got a lot of feedback, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, oh, wait. You know, I said, one, that man's no virgin, you know what I mean?
Right.
He met women over 35 years and dealing with women before he met that woman.
So how do I find the right one, right?
Yes.
So,
wait. Toast to a good show. My fault, I'm sorry.
Toast to a good show. So, you don't know. That's the beauty of finding. Because you don't know. How I found my wife, I was gambling on myself.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, in the first show, it was terms and conditions.
Mm-hmm.
We did that.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's about how do you commit after said conditions. So in the beginning, it was rough.
Okay.
It was very rough in the beginning. It wasn't all the cliche term peaches and cream. It wasn't that. It was actually the complete opposite. It was me proving to her that I was who I said I was, and who I was going to be the following day, following week, following month. I had to prove myself.
Consistency.
Yeah. Okay. And that version part, she was in prior relationships where it wasn't me. It wasn't what I was bringing to the table, which was honesty, which was consistency, being on time. She wasn't used to that. So when I presented that, it was like, I don't believe you. So now you gotta prove it. So it's like I'm being challenged in a field that I was being challenged in a field that I was unfamiliar with.
Okay.
Because this woman was in the caliber and field that I was familiar with, I thought.
Okay.
So as time progressed, I was dealing with my own demons.
Ooh.
So in the first show I said she was dealing with her demons, I was dealing with my demons. So my demons and her demons, let's just say I wasn't comfortable in the headspace that I was in at that time. So I would challenge the thinking of what I thought was. So in translation, what do I mean by that? I wasn't comfortable with her not being ready to introduce me to the family right away. I wasn't comfortable with that. I didn't appreciate that. I felt challenged. Like, I know who I am, and I'm telling you who I am. I'm the same person every day. That didn't matter to her. It was like, yo, I hear you, but until I can see it, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm showing you. But it wasn't the same level of display versus what she already was conditioned with. So it was different. It was like, okay, well, if you are who you are, then you'll stick this out.
You know, I was telling a friend. I told a friend this. I said, yo, so I'm going to give you a cheat code.
Yeah.
And she's like, what? I said, you want to know a man, everything about a man in a short time, in 6 months? This is what you do. You see how he is around people he knows. You see how he is around people he don't know. You see, and when I say people, first you see him how he is around a bunch of men. Right. Because one thing when men are around each other, they sort each other out. You know what I mean? There's a not like a political agenda, but it's kind of political. You know,
it's a status.
Yeah,
we're checking out.
Yeah, and it's not. I say you've got to pay attention because when the men are around men, it's not about money. And when somebody mentions the money, that means there's something insecure. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's insecurity.
Yeah, so like, you know, I said two. You gotta see how he is around women that he don't know. Because if he's quiet, you know what I mean. Now my belief, if he's quiet, then you kind of don't want that. You kind of, because let's be honest, every woman wants the man that every other woman, yeah. So like you kind of don't want that, you know. Then see how he's around his people, the people that he tell you that he considered family or friends that he considered family. Right. Go see how he is around those men. Right. How they engage and stuff like that, because that's the part where.
So, when I was dealing with that, we were just talking. We weren't even engaged. And one day, I felt myself making her more emotionally displeased with my. Huh?
Aura?
Yeah, with my aura and my energy. My energy was wrong. I just felt I had a lot of insecurities. I had a lot of doubt. And I wasn't as confident in me with her. So I said, after so many different encounters where we're more, it's more friction than solution. It's more.
Wait, you said friction than solution.
It's more friction when we're not. We're going at it. We're at odds. That's friction.
Like, check that shit. And you'd be like, yo, you gotta check this shit.
Yo, it's it was more like we were like two alphas banging heads constantly, two rams, and it was like it wasn't conducive to what our end goal was, which was to be together. So I gave her my ultimatum to myself.
Can I ask you a quick question? You said the goal was to be together. So, like, was it like together forever, or just like, let's see where this goes?
There was no forever.
Okay.
We can't even get to forever if we can't even be together today.
Okay.
So when we're rams, we're banging heads constantly, and I'm like, you know what? I gave myself the ultimatum. I said, listen, we was in a parking lot at this establishment. I'm not saying, I'm not plugging no names. We're just an establishment. And I was like, you know what? If I can't get my shit together, I'm out. I told her that. True story. I told her, I said, if I can't get my shit together, I'm out. I'm done. And she had no choice but to respect it, because at this point, we ramming. We're nothing that I'm bringing to the table is conducive to us moving forward, us going into a situation riding off into the sunset. Yeah. Nothing is conducive at this point.
I gotta ask you, cause now, do you feel like, and I say this with all due respect, do you feel like you was battling an image of a perfect man, and like you know
the image, the only
standard
image, the only image in regards of what you were saying is trying to be this particular person in her eyes. The only person that I was battling at that time was myself, and how I wanted to see myself with her.
Oh, yeah.
So
I can feel that.
You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't battling an image. The image didn't matter. It was the person that I am today. Fuck the image that I'm looking at. The person that I actually am is having her displeased with my behavior. And how I'm responding to shit, and I'm having all these insecurities and shit like that, like whatever they are, like. So I had to check that shit with myself, like, yo, if you can't be with her and trust her word, like you asking her to trust yours, then be out. Now, granted, we weren't established enough to even know what trusting your word is. All I knew was my family. We are so disconnected. I talked to one person, realistically, like 4 people in my family. My family is so, we're just so distant, it don't make sense. And my wife, she knows my cousin, they talk, they got each other's numbers, all that. And her family is in Lancaster. So when...
Shout out to Lancaster. Go ahead.
So her family... She's, you know, she's like the pinnacle of aunts in her family. So everybody view her in a certain light. I didn't notice that. So I'm walking around feeling away. I didn't meet anybody yet. She was hiding me only because of the security of herself and making sure that if she in fact bring me around family, that I can conduct myself, and she can be proud of who she introduced, because the relationship she's been in were all long term. So if this is a real thing, she needs to secure that and be confident in that regard. No, thank you. But thank you. So as we progressed, and I gave her my ultimatum to myself, she looked at the situation and was like, you know what? I can respect it.
Let me ask you something.
What?
You know, because even though I gave women that cheat code, do you watch her cheat code when she was around the people that you say are family? Or what I imagine they are family, you know what I mean? And how they speak to her, or how they engage around her. Was that like a shocker, or was it like, you know?
Well, excuse me. What I saw in reference to her family, I saw a level of respect. I saw a level of grace, and I saw a very high level of love, and the respect level was even higher than that, which was no surprise to me because I know the woman that she is. So it was more or less
when you got to know her, so you got to know her, sir. Yeah.
So being in that position comes with a certain level of weight that you have to be willing to bear, withstand, tolerate, hold, whatever you want to call it. So as time progressed, I was putting myself through initiation. Like, okay, if you really want to be with this woman, this is what it comes with. And this is her standards, and this is what she's not going to tolerate. And then I had my standards and what I'm not going to tolerate, but from myself. So as we progressed, it became something, and we were still battling, but we were able to verbally communicate our differences in a more relaxed environment, which was either at her place or my place.
Yeah, I definitely believe, like, you know, when it comes to because you took a shot at me. See, yeah, Frank, you're not ready for marriage. You know what I mean? And,
no, I said 2 to 5 years. Yeah. That ain't a shot.
I think it's quicker. But like, you know,
I'll give you that. Let's say it is a shot. Let's go because entertainment purposes. Let's say it is a shot. How did you feel about that shot?
You know, like you said, you know, you was going through certain levels of insecurity and stuff like that. And you know me on a personal level, and you know that I'm going through a transition period, you know what I mean? Which is a very good transition, but yet it's a transition. So, me personally, I know as of right now, my life is like, I cannot allow certain energies, let's just say that, I can't entertain it on a personal level. You know what I'm saying? And that.
Remember in the other interview you said, I don't care if a female crosses the Mason-Dixon line to give me a sandwich.
Yes.
I'm hustling.
Yes.
Now, when does that become, let me be more specific, when does that hustle become more of and not so much of an obligation, but it's more like, okay, I got somebody who will meet me halfway.
I'm on cruise control.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know.
Will you allow a female to meet you halfway so you don't have to hustle as hard?
No, but I'm on. But like, you know.
But that's where the shot came from in regards to being ready for marriage, because your woman, your significant other, can help offset that balance that you're trying to fulfill by supplying you with that level of income to give you that financial freedom, financial stability, whatever.
Yeah, but then it's like, okay, in order for that to happen, right? One, I have to know a person. You know what I'm saying? Two, I have to.
But you said marriage, so you will know the person.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, two, I have to entertain the person. As of right now, you know what I mean? You know.
So was it a shot or was it reality?
It's a shot. You said 2-5. You said 5. You said I was like, God damn.
So when you think you'll be ready?
Oh.
With your standards,
with my
with yourself.
See, I'm gonna be honest, straightforward.
You know what I mean? Go to another topic.
Yeah. I think I'm ready now, but I won't entertain it now. You know what I'm saying?
You're not ready. That's an oxymoron. I'm ready, but I won't entertain it. That's an oxymoron.
Because okay, let me explain why.
How are you ready, but you won't entertain it?
Let me explain why. We know, just like season change, people change, right?
That's like saying I'm gonna buy tickets to your team's game, but I ain't going. So why would you buy tickets?
For support of what you're doing.
You said I'm ready, but I'm not entertaining.
Yes.
That's like I'm buying the tickets, but I'm not going.
Okay, because
then why would you buy the tickets?
I'm gonna explain. You ready?
I'm ready.
Think about this. You know what I mean? It said it took you 35 plus years to find the perfect person.
Well, technically not 35 years. You got to give yourself some time to become. So let's just say 15.
Okay, 15 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you
don't come out the womb like I'm ready to. You know what I mean?
And
get to it.
When you think about that person became perfect for you. You know what I mean? Even though and you look at the qualities she had and this and that. You know what I mean? I believe substance matter. Do you agree to that?
Substance?
Yes.
In regards to what?
Like, as far as a woman having substance. You know what I mean? Like, hey, if,
to my liking, yes.
Okay, so like certain men, you know what I mean? They believe in substance. You know what I mean? How you raise your kids, how you do this when I'm not around, how you represent me when I'm not around, how you move when I am around, and all these things matter. You know what I mean? And in order for me to, you know what I mean? So now it's like penitentiary chances. You know what I mean? You ever heard that terminology before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I'm well familiar.
So like I'm not saying every woman's bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying that it's not like.
Hopefully we still recording.
Yeah. And I got some skills now. You know what I mean? So like, yeah.
I'm with you.
So like, with that being said, it's like, hey, I can give you my time of day, but you might not be worth it as a person to give my time of day. So therefore, I'm wasting 5-6 months just talking to you and doing all this other shit. We're not gonna be doing things for me that makes me.
Let me help you understand what investing your time means in a relationship, because it's not the same as when you invest money into a bank account.
Okay.
It's not the same. When you invest money into an account, depending on the investment, you can see whether you make money or not. You can see it. When you invest time into a relationship, you don't see it. You can't see your end result. It takes time to see it before you can actually see what it actually is and what it manifests into. Before you can see what it actually is and what it manifests into. So let's talk about the part where we actually get through those hurdles, right? Because we still got to talk about the engagement. Me saying, will you be my wife? And she still has to say yes. So mind you, we're going through turbulence. The turbulence is much less than what it was. But there's levels of communication that both parties have to be willing to have. There is no relationship without communication.
Absolutely.
You have to have it. Even if it's all toxic. And you just getting your shit off by saying, I fucking hate you, whatever. You have to say it. So
you don't think emotional intelligence is one of the key factors to a relationship?
That's the most important.
See, I agree. See, I agree to that. Like, you know.
Because emotion can drive you into saying some wild shit because that's how you feel about it, and then you don't feel that same way moments later. So being emotionally intelligent about how you feel at the time versus later can determine two different results. That's that. So as we progress into this environment and into this world of possibilities, it was around Valentine's, and she told me she was going to do something for me for Valentine's Day, and I had something planned before Valentine's. I had my own thing, she had her own thing. So, not to drag it out too much, because I know I don't want this to be turning into part 3.
Take it out.
So, we talking, and I'm not opposed to her idea. I'm letting her have her moment of whatever she wants to do for me. So, I went and spoke to her son, and I went and looked around for this ring, and I ain't go, like, my initial plan was to go to, a jewelry store, look at the rings that they had on display at the store, and get the best one. But I started noticing, I'm like, okay, this is, I ain't really feeling these rings. They all look the same.
Yeah.
So I went online to the jewelry store that I went to, and I looked at their online selection. Their online selection is way different from the selection that you can buy at the store. So I started investigating their online selection, and then I started noticing, okay, these prices are a little different too. So as I'm noticing the price difference, I started noticing the range of rings that they had, and the variety of rings and the choices that they have. It's much bigger online. You're limited to a showcase, right? I found the ring. I talked to the jeweler. They can order it. Awesome. I had a nice line of credit with them. We worked something out, and I get the ring. Got it. And once I got the ring, I brought it to her son's attention, and I showed him. And I said, I asked permission. I said, yo, how would you feel if I proposed? And he was like, yo, for sure, I'm with it. I'm all the way with it. So I needed to hear. Until I asked her to marry me, right? I'm nervous as shit this whole time. I'm fucking shitting bricks. I'm man. Like I done invested a nice piece of change on this ring, and this is just the engagement. The actual wedding has to be, in collaboration too. So I do my due diligence. I do everything I need to do, and then that moment where it was time for me. Now let me paint a picture for the audience, the viewers, listeners, etc. I had the ring upstairs in a little just say upstairs. We'll leave it at that. And she had something planned, so I went out and I bought 48 roses. For the significance of whatever it was, that don't matter, right? I bought hella roses, and what she had planned versus what I had planned, we came to some level of a disagreement. Not sure how we did it, but we did it, and she is now upset again, and she goes upstairs. She's in her zone. I'm downstairs in my zone. And I'm like, damn it. I'm trying to present this ring. And I'm fucking up the moment. Mind you, battling them demons. I'm still battling with my insecurities. Right? Because all I want, keyword want, is to present this ring and her to say yes. But I got to create an environment where that moment allows itself to make for that moment allows her to make the best decision possible without an impaired judgment, where she's not responding from the moment that just happened, where she's responding at her most natural state. No alcohol involved, nothing. It's just her pure train of thinking. So she goes upstairs. I'm kicking myself in the ass downstairs. I'm like, fucked up, right? So I go upstairs. I console her. Listen, it's all good. This, that, and the third. Woo. Giving her all the phrases and sayings to bring the tension down. And I'm like, well, that's what you agreed upon. I had something planned different. Never said what my plan was. Man, I had something planned different. She calms down. I listen to her. She listens to me. We listen to each other. She comes back down. Boom. I got her. We back. We're all smiles. Before she left, I left after she did. Got the ring. Put it in my pocket. She go downstairs. I'm right behind her. Boom. We go into the dining room. She's sitting at the table. I'm sitting at the table. And I start talking to her like I'm talking to you. And I just started reminiscing about all the different events that occurred. Now, mind you, we were on the fence the entire time with just different mood swings and how we feel and learning each other and everything else like that. And we've been together at this point for maybe a year. But it was certain things that she did, and y'all can look at the first interview to find out what those things were. But it was certain things and how she carried herself and how she responded to me and how she cared for me and how she nurtured certain things that was going on within the turbulence of my life, trying to acquire jobs and shit like that, and how she handled those situations. That was key. How she handled it. And I brought all that to the table and I said, listen, right? Said my spiel.
I feel like I should have a Drew Hill song right now.
So I said my spiel, and she was just like lost in my thoughts, meaning like she was just listening to my every word. And she was like, okay, I hear you. I'm listening to you. And as I was in the seat, I slid down on one knee. And I presented her the ring. And she was so lost in the moment, she couldn't even say, I do. Like, I will. Yes, whatever. She couldn't say yes. And mind you,
she didn't see it coming. Toast to that. You can't some more drinks? It's a weekend. I'm drinking to that. I'm sorry.
Gotcha. So she didn't see it, and the quality of ring. It wasn't the whole. Nothing against people that buy these type of rings, but it wasn't the typical 3-stone together. It wasn't the big rock. It wasn't none of that. It was something completely different. Like.
That was a cheap ring. I seen it. I'm sorry. Don't flex. Listen, don't, cause I told the friend, right? I told the chick. I said, listen, let me tell you something, man. No disrespect,
right?
But I feel like there's levels to this shit. You know what I mean? And if I have to show my appreciation that you gave to me, I cannot go under a certain price.
Now,
it's not because of the money.
I'm glad you said that. Let me add to it. That's enough. Let me add to it. With that said, the reason behind that certain price is because, fellas, ladies, more for the fellas, that ring is a representation of us. So regardless of, and let me be careful when I say this, and I might want to switch it up. Let's just say, when you buy your ring, not regardless, when you buy your ring, fellas, when you buy that ring for your wife, your significant other, who you claim, who you cherish, who you proud of, who was walking on the side of your hip, when other women see that ring is a representation of you and what you mean to her and what she mean to you and how you value her. Now, that's not saying the ring that you got her isn't to the standard. That's not saying none of that. This is saying when you buy that ring, when you buy it, when you purchase it, there's a certain, to your point, Frankie, when you say it can't be under $1 amount, I don't give a fuck if you make $10,000 a year. Don't buy a $300 ring from Walmart. And I said Walmart because I need y'all to know the type of ring not to buy. That's why I have to plug Walmart. But I don't want to. But this is what you don't do. You don't go to your local supermarket. You don't go to your local wholesale food. Nowhere do you want to buy the ring where you can go grocery shopping or buy a TV from. That's not where you want to get the ring. Period. With that said, when you buy this ring in particular that goes to the woman, your ring can be whatever. When you buy the engagement ring, you are engaging in a level of a lifestyle that you are committing to for life. For life. Now, there is no my relationship, my life, my wife, we're not perfect. We don't dare try to say we are. We don't do none of that shit. We are who we are, and just so happens
it's a perfect blend.
That we just so happen to have a blend that we worked our ass off to have. Now, I'm gonna help you segue too. Now, when you have that perfect blend, you have to nurture it. You have to take care of that shit. You gotta earn it. You gotta understand it, appreciate it. You're gonna have different obstacles, and whatever they are, I don't give a fuck what they are, for the man or the woman. Obstacles, whatever you face with, whatever it is. From, just to put some names on it, from the opposite sex that you're attracted to, you lust for, from financial burdens, from being challenged in different environments like clubs and different shit that you just all of the above you're going to be faced with. Your lifestyle is in question with your marriage when you are introduced to these lifestyles. Now, how you handle it is totally up to you.
You know, only
in conclusion, let me segue you. With that said, though, once you commit to that, you already been engaged with all that shit. No pun intended with the engaged. You already been exposed to all that. So by the time you say you want to marry this person, that you already somewhat numb to that. So that ain't even a challenge. It's not supposed to be.
I know I'm an old man. There's only one woman I ever spoke engagement to, wedding to.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I told her. Look, now she's calling. I told her that I literally told her. I said, "Yo, I can't." I said, "Yo, the money I'm making." I can't just put a ring on your finger. It's illegal. Because if I just put a ring on your finger, it's like it's worth nothing. I have to put the best ring on your
to your standards.
Yes. You know, because we had this conversation before, and I'm like, yo, I say, yo, listen, but at the same time, it's gonna fuck you. It's gonna fuck with your environment because yo, now your wife don't chill in certain environments and shit like that. But like, yo, hey, I'm letting you know right now, you're getting robbed if you just go and whatever. Because I'm financially, my currency level is good. You know what I'm saying? It's above average. You know what I mean? You pick the race, it's above those averages race, and I'm a workaholic first. You know what I mean? I cannot allow myself to have you be the perfect representation of me and give you a small thing. But I also tell people that's not on my level, like, yo, hey, make that woman an honest woman. Whatever the fuck you gotta do to make that woman an honest woman. Because, like, right now, it looks like the dishonest women are not already. You know what I mean? And you know, I don't like the picture that's being painted, because I see the picture and they're working their own brush. It's like, oh well, these guys ain't choosing me because they don't got this shit together, or these guys ain't doing this because whatever. And it's like, yo, no. Not too many people invested. Maybe you didn't invest in the guy the right way. You know what I mean? Or maybe you were so focused on like fame or whatever other bullshit that you did not know. You do not know what it is to genuinely love somebody. You know what I'm saying? And statistics prove that, because, you know, the average marriage for a black family is 5 years, and that's crazy. It's like, because, you know, only 25% of black women are actually getting married. So that, therefore, it's like, yo.
But you know what though?
You don't believe in statistics.
I want to dial it back, because you had a question for me about OnlyFans.
Oh.
I want to get into the confrontational part of the questions that they was asking. What was your question about OnlyFans?
Okay, as far as that, it's like, you know. Okay. Alright. I'm no flex, you know what I mean? I can stunt, you know what I mean? But I'm really trying not to, you know what I mean? I'm trying to be a low key brother, you know what I'm saying? But I know, like, where I'm at in my life, you know, and let me explain that. You know, there's the higher ups, you know, let's be honest, we're men.
Yeah.
There's higher ups and there's people at the bottom. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm somewhere in the middle, but in the upper part of the middle. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking, and so when the higher ups talk to me, right? Me personally, they be like, yo, man, you gotta learn how to say fuck these niggas, right? But like, I was once that nigga, so it's hard for me to ever say fuck these niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I tell people a lot, like, yo, hey, you know, it's not about the money sometimes, it's about the character. You know what I'm saying? It's really not, like, you know, I'm greedy. I admit that. You know, I work, I buy toys and all this other dumb shit. You know what I mean? Fuck it, I blow money. You know what I mean? I feel like I can. I have no kids. I can do what the fuck I want. You know what I'm saying? As long as my bills are paid. I also believe that, you know what I mean, character means so much more than money. So when and it's not that you can have an OnlyFans, but are you a good person? Because I understand.
So so OnlyFans.
But like.
So let's put it in perspective, because the second somebody say OnlyFans, it's the female getting naked.
Yes.
If the female, let's be more specific for me. I'll give y'all what y'all asking for. If my wife, before she was my wife, if she had an OnlyFans because she seen an opportunity to make a few extra dollars and she wasn't my wife, again, she wasn't my wife, and she brought it to my attention, like, listen, before we get serious, I have an OnlyFans. I couldn't do it.
Okay, that's all I did.
Like, and I'm gonna tell you why.
But I see.
Listen.
Okay.
Let me be more specific. Cause I said if she had an OnlyFans. Now, if she had an OnlyFans and she was getting naked, I can't do it. Because she's for the world. I'm not emotionally built that way to handle other men gawking over my woman. I can't handle that.
And I feel that's
seeing
so
her
important.
and seeing her natural attributes and what it's supposed to be for the sacred of our bedroom. Now, if she had the OnlyFans and she was showing her toes,
Toast to that.
Right?
I'm drinking to that. This is
now, if she had the OnlyFans and she was showing her toes, minus her identity, I ain't opposed to that.
Wait, you're not?
If you showing your feet and nothing else, I'm not. Whatever. It's only coming to us. It could be anybody's feet.
Okay.
So let me elaborate even more in that regard. If it's her showing something to educate women that look like us, that's melanated like us, and that can educate women to put them in a more positive light and to teach them shit that they don't know about how to handle themselves in the world to get what she got, which is an successful black husband. A successful black husband. And if she's willing to help women in that regard, to teach them and show them and guide them in that regard, I'm not opposed to that either. But again, if you are on OnlyFans and you are exploiting your natural attributes, God-given natural attributes that are supposed to be private for you and I, meaning my wife and I, in the bedroom, and you are exploiting that for financial gain, I cannot partake in that regard. I can't do it.
No, I want to say something, right? And this is where, because like, you know, I did get a education lesson that from a female, from one female. Everybody hit me back because, you know, that was like the hot topic. That was they was calling me up and everything like, yo, like, why you take off the fucking glasses and shit like that? You know what I'm saying? And like, but one person had a point. You know what I mean? One person. Me and her was talking, and I was like,
and we're intentionally bouncing around for the record. Y'all just keep up.
Me and her was talking.
Keep watching.
Me and her was talking, and in the midst of this conversation about, you know, that show specifically, she said, well, you know, you're doing better than average. You know what I mean? But like, you know, in regards of financial stability. Okay. You know what I mean? As far as like, you know, the average person don't think the way we think, as far as like going global and international and national and expanding. So she said, what about the normal man? What about the trash man? What about this and what about that? And I said, yo, fuck no, because if I was a trash man, I still wouldn't want to do it. And then she broke down the hey. She says, you know, we as women, you know, say, yo, we don't, just like y'all make bad choices, y'all go to jail. You know what I mean? But, you know, the bad choices as women, I want to say this right. Sorry, I was drinking.
It's okay.
So the bad choices as women, you know what I mean, is always brought to light. And,
as far as what?
Like, you know,
having baby daddies and all that or something?
Yes. But I was like, you know, I said, let me tell you something, man. I said, some of the women that I know that got married, or married and happily married, you know what I mean, and, you know, successfully married, not, you know, financially successful, but just successfully married, because, you know, some things are worth more than money, and one thing I believe is love is worth more than money. Let me get to my point. The person I'm married to is a man with a moral compass. You know what I mean? And she was like, yeah, you know, sometimes a good man can clean up a woman. I said, yeah, but like, how many? You gotta think about the level of men that try to clean you up before then. Now you know what I mean? Like, prime example. Like, yo, listen, hey, you see a 27-year-old. She's in her prime. She's fertile. This and that. Hey, I can start a family with you. I have enough to start a family with you, but I would not. Because you don't have good instincts. You know what I mean by instincts?
Yeah, so women have an extremely difficult job when it comes to finding a good man.
You think?
Yes.
I think there's more good men than good women.
Let me help you understand why I say they have a difficult job. Because some men, I'll just say us. Mm-hmm. Some of us, we front like we got it when we really don't.
Okay.
So, if you front, pretend, or act like you have something that you really don't have, you live in the glory moment of the attention that you get when you are accepted as if you have it.
Oh. But this is the part where I say, yo,
so
hey,
wait,
judge a man. But
so listen.
Remember I said, judge a man.
I'm gonna get to that.
When he's around other men.
No, but see that it's a different cadence when you are not qualified to be around those different men. You don't even get the privilege of being around these different groups because we're talking about the introduction of who you are first. Again, remember I told you I ain't meet my wife's family until damn near a year in. There is no see how he is around these different types of people. I wasn't introduced to her family until damn near a year in. I didn't get the opportunity to showcase how I am around these different people. I didn't get it. So that's null and void. You don't have it. So now what do? Okay, most men that's within our melanin, black, we are more conditioned to let me show you what I got in my pocket, overcompensating, as if the female that I'm trying to attract even give a fuck about that. Let's say that's all you geared upon. Let's say gear. Let's keep that word gear. Let's say you go out and buy some exotic shit. You go out and buy Louis, whatever name brand you feel as though is comfortable for your attire that day. You go out, you throw that shit on, and you loud as hell. Meaning your outfit is loud as shit. You got Louis this, Gucci this, whatever high end. And you expecting a certain level of attention from these women that you're trying to attract that are also attracted by that level of attire that you're wearing. So you want the same female that might be interested in that type of gear or whatever. You're trying to attract them. Now, guys like us, and I say that directly, guys like you, guys like me, we're not geared to that. But let's go back to the guy who is on high-end fashion. Now, the female that you want, let's say that's what she into, and let's say you attract her, let's say you pull her, you get her number, y'all hang out. The standard that you done set for yourself, you done fucked yourself over because now you wearing Louis, whatever high-end brand today, you got to wear that tomorrow. The following day. Let's just say that was your best motherfucking outfit and you couldn't wait to wear it and you wore it that one night. And that's all you could afford. That's what she expected. In that world, that's what she expecting you to hold up your end of the bargain in that regard of what you wore now.
I think she just wanted to fuck a fly nigga.
Now, who's to say you fly? You was fly.
If you were a Louis,
it was night.
Okay, but like you're saying,
fucking night.
I know, but
it was one night. Do that shit every night.
You know,
do that shit every night. You spent your whole motherfucking check on one outfit. For one night, you pulled the badge on, you got it. Now, guess what? She got the same outfit you got, but the female version. She got the pocketbook, the match the shit, and now you stuck because now the female that you wanted, you got her, but you can't afford her.
What do you
versus the female that's average that you can afford? But now, guess what comes with the female that's average that you can afford? You got to be your motherfucking self. And what's yourself? You too busy trying to be the motherfuckers you see on videos and everything else. Then you got to be yourself. You got to go out and buy this kind of shirt. Now it's all predicated upon your level of vernacular.
Okay.
Your level of language.
Okay.
You feel me? So whatever your game, whatever your game is, GAME, whatever your game is, that's what she's now going to gravitate to. Your personality. That's what you said earlier. Your personality. What's your personality? So I don't care about your money is the female version of an average chick. I don't care about it. It's nice if you got it, but I don't care about that. I don't care how much money you spent on your outfit. If we hungry, can you buy us something to eat? No, because you spent all your money trying to be somebody you're not. Just be yourself. And let that go where it go.
Okay. Listen, we was all young and dumb. I was young and dumb. Like I said, you know what I mean? Like
it's always better to be yourself.
I said the goal was when you know what I mean. You know, I stacked the money and I put it into a shoebox.
Right.
When I wanted to, and then all of a sudden I'm going to the mall and I'm
shout out to shoebox money.
Shout out to shoebox money. And I'm copping a couple Averexes and shit like that. I don't know if you remember Pelly Pell. I'm old as fuck. Okay.
That's fucking me.
Yeah, so like
Pelly,
yeah. So like I said back and when I used to do things that wasn't conductive to society.
Triple fat goose and all that shit.
Oh, you're really going back.
Wild bees and all that shit. Wu-Tang shit. So
but I believe that we are allowed to stunt, and I tell you.
What you mean?
I tell young guys at my job.
Elaborate on allowed to stunt. What do you mean by stunt?
By all means, you know what I mean? Because I was talking to a young kid, right? And he works at my job. You know what I mean? And I remember when he first started working, and I told this nigga, I said, "Yo, listen, man, to be at this job at your age, motherfucker, you better get the BMW." So he got a Mazda. You know what I mean? Right? 3 years later, right? He comes to me, gives me a hug. You know what I mean? Young Spanish dude, you know what I mean? 5'11", whatever. Says, guess what? I said, what? Shows me the keys. He's like, yeah, I had to do it. As a young person.
He had a Mazda.
He went from a Mazda to a BMW. It took him 4 years, but so what? You know what I mean? He got that.
He may own it, though.
Huh?
He may own that Mazda, that BMW.
He still owns the Mazda, but he's leasing the BMW.
He got 2 cars.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you're supposed to. I got a couple. I got a few. I don't want to put my stuff out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And but he was so proud of himself, and you could see the level of confidence.
You understand it though?
Yeah, absolutely. Because at the end of the day, you're young, you're a man, you're figuring out yourself. Go figure yourself out. You know what I mean? That's what I tell when I talk to young people at any level, whether it's at work or it's at in the city, or even there's a young dude around here that me and him we talk, and I'm like, yo, listen, my man, look, just because I said when you get this age, you gotta learn how to curve women, but right now, experience life. Go travel.
It's not about curving. It's just
no. See, certain women. No. Hear me out.
What do you mean curving?
Okay. There's so much. You can be good on paper, but not good-hearted Like you can have the college degree, you can have all this shit. You know what I mean? You could be, you know what I mean? Like if I show you a chick's resume and say, yo, I'm talking to this chick. Yo, she got her master's degree in communication. She's doing this and she's doing that. And you know, she got her side business. She works for, let's just say, Pepsi. You know what I mean? A good company. You know what I mean? That's too personal. Let's just say another company besides that. Yeah, let's just say
it's okay.
Yeah,
Pepsi, it's okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
keep going.
Let's just say she's worked for another company.
Yeah, whatever. Keep going.
The drinks. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But like, let's just say she's worked for a good company.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A stable company. Yeah. Making great income. She's off the high end. She's in the management department, like the HR department, all this other bullshit that nobody cares about. And you be like, yo, what? And I show you pictures. You know what I mean? Fat ass, great body. You know what I mean? You gonna be like, yo, you gotta catch. Then I introduce you to her. She's sucking the teeth. Man, it's too hot out here, man. What you got your AC on? Where the fuck the crabs at? You know, the crab legs at? And then it's like, yo, I'm gonna look and say, hey. Or you gonna look at me and you gonna be like, yo, man, you look good on paper, then, dog. I'm, you know, if you're happy, I'm happy for you. Right. You know what I mean? You see those, and vice versa, because girls go through it too.
But again, going back to my initial point, women have a more challenging job than men. I say that because
absolutely. Because
if a woman approached a man and asked him for his number, it's so foreign. The man would be like kind of lost for words because typically it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just look at any interaction.
In this era, though, you think?
I'm saying period. Pick an era. Period.
I think in this era.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Women are macking the men.
I'm not talking about whatever you talking about in regards of you saying macking men. I'm talking about name a few times over where the woman approached the man and asked the man for his number.
Yo,
that's
you're
like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's a foreign thing. So with that said, it's more challenging because most men, to my initial point, most men front. They pretend to be something that they're not, only because we get lost in trying to, like sometimes we get lost in trying to, we want to celebrate our win. Whatever our win is, we might just be winning in life. Nothing in particular, just winning in life, and we want to treat ourselves. And it might be that Gucci bag that we wanted and we've been saving up for, and we got the money now and we want to buy it, and we've been saving up for the Gucci shirt and we can buy it, and we got the Gucci belt that we've been saving up for and then we can buy it, and just so happens you want to put it all together and you want to go out and your shit is real. Collectively,
I like how you said real. Shout out to that.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm drinking, I'm sorry.
So collectively, you probably spent about 3-4 bands, maybe. Who knows? I don't know. Not that much, because I mean, Gucci bag, all that. You got the belt, the shirt, the bag. You probably spent about $2,000 tops, right?
Well, the jeans are $1,200, so the belt's like $8. You know,
you got Gucci.
So you're spending $3,000 or more.
All right, cool. So you went out. Remember the previous statement? You went out and bought all this shit to attract that woman that got the same shit you got.
But she also did that.
No. Wait. I got you. So you went and you saved up all your money. It took you 6 months to get this whole outfit together, and you worked your ass off to get it, and you got everything you want. You got the jeans, the shirt, the belt, the bag, all that. And you go out and you feel good about yourself. and you in a celebratory state where you want everybody to see you, but you don't really care about the attention, which brings another level of attraction because you don't care if people see it or not. You just happy that within you that you was able to actually do it and you got it done and you accomplished your goal. And the female view you a certain way. What way that is? Whatever that is. But she has to view you. She has to. Mm-hmm. In order to see you, she has to view you. Right? Now, remember, I'm mixing it up. She see you, she approaches you, she asks you for your number.
Instagram, that's what they do now.
So, a lot of times with today's world, we have this thing where you have this demeanor like, I'm getting money. Mm-hmm. You really not though. You just proud of your accomplishments and you're wearing it.
But see,
so now, let me finish it off. So we don't lose our, I don't know how, whatever. And hopefully a conversation will commence and she will talk to you and you can tell her everything and how you worked your ass off to get the garments that you have that she see, so she don't get the wrong impression that you are this get money ball.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like you want to allow if she approaches you, and if she approaches you, y'all can now have a conversation, and you can tell her like, man, I saved up this many checks to get this belt. I saved up this many checks.
Saying that.
I would hope you would.
When the Henny's in the system,
ain't no test.
Okay, like cool.
Listen, but see, this is the thing though. Like, if it was me,
because you're only going. Listen, if it takes you 8. Listen, if it takes you,
you got to keep the same narrative though. Listen to what I'm saying.
Why can't you stunt? Why do I have to explain?
No. You're not. Well, this is a different level of stunting. You stunting in a more mature way. If she rock with you and she fuck with you and who you are, and you already from the door being honest with her, that's a stunt. You being honest. Being honest is a stunt. Because some niggas, they just want to show off and act like they getting it like that every day, and you're not.
So when you're in your 20s, you just want to fuck the baddest bitch in the club.
That's not true.
In 20s?
That's not true.
Okay.
That's not true. Because I know some people in their 20s and they established.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm talking about typical niggas.
I'm talking about.
Okay.
Like, it depends on what you want for yourself. So, in conclusion to that, you being honest with her, and she's turned on by that. Because you told her, I ain't got it. I work my ass off for the shirt. What that tell her is, he'll work for what he want. Will he work for me? If he really want me? Whole different conversation.
Got a question. Okay. Now, if a young dude came to me, right, and says, "Yo, I went to the club. You knew I was working crazy overtime." I was like, "Yeah, I seen you, because I'm working crazy overtime."
Right.
And they said, "Yeah, I met the baddest chick in the club, right?" And I took I took her to the telly. I don't know if young people talk like this now, but like,
I'm with you.
You know what I mean? I took her to the telly. I didn't take her to my crib. I took her to the telly. You know what I mean? I'm a high five. But if he comes to me 3 days later and says, "Yo, me and Shorty, we're kind of rocking with each other," shit like that, I'm gonna tell him, be careful. This is just general wisdom from a older man to younger dude.
I agree with you.
I'm gonna say, yo, be very fucking careful, because I know I watched you, because I'm working and I'm in my 40s working 60, 70 hours a week, and you're in your 20s working 60 hours a week, and you deserve that moment of, whoo, that week, that bomb ass weekend. You know what I mean? You deserve it. Hey, so I'm gonna say, be careful, because what it took for you to get there, I had to watch. I had to say, oh, okay, yeah. You know, you had 9 times out of 10, if you're young, you had to listen to me tell you what to do at any job. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, but at the same time, I'm like, yo, you gotta be careful. You know what I mean? Because this is the time for you to learn how to deal with people. You know, like single mother, you have to break that down. You know what I mean? You know.
So, for the record, we're giving different scenarios of different relationships and the single life, married life,
but
play life.
If you dress in Gucci,
we're giving you different dynamics. So we're not sticking to just one type of situation. We're broadening. If that's even a word. Y'all could comments. We're giving you different facets of a man's personality. We can't speak for women because clearly we're not, but we're just giving different examples. So I kind of already told y'all the engagement, all that. I didn't tell y'all to marry when we got married. We can go into that.
Part 3. Let's do part 3.
It's not that long. No. It's simple. It's real simple.
I want to refill my drink and shit like that. You know what I mean? You know.
So, what I'll say in regards to what's our time? So, this is what I'll say, right? Mm-hmm. When you are in different environments, so we're gonna do a recap. OnlyFans. If you doing OnlyFans, ladies, me, if it's you busting it open, no bueno. Any guy, if you comfortable with a female busting it open, that's between you and that female. It's whatever. Now,
can I ask you a question?
What I'll say is, for the fellas, if a female tell you she got an OnlyFans, ask what the content consists of. Because if she just say I got an OnlyFans and you cut her at the legs and you say I ain't with it, she might only be showing her hands. She might be showing her toes. She might be showing her
cooking classes. Yeah.
Like she may be teaching people stuff with a book. Like she's fully clothed. Like be more open minded to the term OnlyFans before you start passing judgment. In regards of a ring, when you're trying to propose to your woman, make sure that y'all have an understanding. Make sure that y'all understand the female's point of view. Make sure you listen. Make sure that you spend a decent amount, and a decent amount is subjective. So I forget the percentage of.
I think 20% of the yearly income.
Yeah, 20% of your yearly income. So let's just say
that's like 20 bands, though. Oh my god, you can't say. See, I don't even think that's right.
Listen. I'm gonna tell you. Spend at least, if you're not a celebrity, spend at least. And what I mean by celebrity, if you don't have the amount of money that celebrities that you are familiar with have, spend upwards of 10,000, 10 grand. You can save that up, 10,000 on her rent, 10 grand minimum. The time frame that it'll take you to save up 10 grand will determine how much you care for her. It's a perfect amount.
And I think that's the perfect lesson too, because I'm gonna tell you, can I save 10 grand with you?
Now
that's a good. Like, can we build?
Now the other part.
Can I have 10 grand? Can I save 10 grand with you by my side?
Now the other part, and we can go wherever you want to go after this. Now the other part, with you saving that 10 grand, once you meet the female that you with, once you meet the female that you want to be with, there is a certain feeling that you'll get to determine whether or not you want to pop that question. And before you pop that question, make sure you got that 10 grand sit to go and get whatever ring you want to get. Now, the beauty of that 10 grand, is simply predicated on the decision that you're going to make when you spend that 10 grand. And it might not be the whole 10 grand. It might not be the whole 10 grand, but 10 grand is more than enough to get you started in the field of showing how serious you are about the woman that you want to be with. Because 10 grand shows you that, or shows the jeweler rather, that you are not playing. And you now have wiggle room to make choices. You now have options. You don't got to spend the whole 10 grand. You might find a ring for like 7. You might find a ring for like 8. If you find a ring for those numbers, you got 2 or 3 grand left, depending upon the ring you choose.
Put it for the honeymoon.
And then you can take that money and do what you want with it. Save it, and like Frankie said, do it for the honeymoon, whatever. But this is just, in part 1, we was long-winded. This is just acknowledging me proposing to my woman, who is now my wife, and how she responded, how I responded, and the wedding. Let me tell y'all the wedding. Let me get into that.
Let's do that for part 3, because you gotta come back.
All right, so the wedding, we're gonna say that for part 3.
It's definitely. Yeah.
But fellas, don't get lost in the OnlyFans and all that shit. Don't get lost in that.
Definitely.
Well, you had questions though.
Yeah, I did.
Any more controversial questions that you had?
Okay. I think you covered it with the. It was
that was the only
that's what they was hitting me back on. Like like that nigga said what, and like you gotta think. Certain. Well, one person was in favor for it, but I'm like, sir, there's tax brackets. You know what I mean? I said, and once you get in a certain tax bracket, you get into your mind goes into a certain image of yourself.
What do you mean?
Like okay, we're not celebrities
at all.
You know what I mean? And we know the tax system, fairly well, and we know there's this one tax bracket, and then there's this other tax bracket where if you make over, what's it, 86, something like that, and it's like,
what does that even mean? 86. What does that mean?
Well, I'm gonna break this down. When you're in a different tax bracket, right? You know what I mean? It's because you either smarter or you work harder.
Okay.
So you know what I mean, and that's what that tax bracket represents. So now you're going to get taxed more, but if you know the right people, you know how to finagle some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know how to finagle some shit, which is great. You know what I mean? And I support. But at the same time, you don't belong. You don't. You have wiggle room, more wiggle room. Let's just be honest. I'm not saying money makes the world go around, but money does a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? It's like hey, and depending on you're going to paint for you to get into a upper tax bracket. You have to see yourself as an image, and you don't have to live up to that. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not a celebrity or whatever, or athlete or whatever, it really doesn't. It matters how you carry yourself, right. And whatever. Because let's just say you're a plumber. You know what I mean? Or let's just say you work at any of the jobs I worked at. You know what I'm saying? And you was blessed enough to see those tax brackets. You're gonna carry yourself different. There's so many. You know what I mean? There's 2 levels of confidence that I believe a man should have: what he makes and who he is. Now, the number one is who you are as a person. Your moral code. I don't break that. That means if somebody comes to you for $100 million,
you know what's crazy?
They say, you know,
I that's what I just spoke on. I said the guy who's fronting. You said it's 2 levels of a man. And what was those 2 levels again?
It was the moral, and the financial.
Okay, right.
So those are 2 levels of confidence.
Right.
Now so, 3, you could say family.
Listen,
but like you know,
watch
but if you control your family, if you don't control your family, you don't have confidence in your family.
You got this guy right here. He pretending he got the Gucci and all that. He pretending he's getting it. You got another guy who got the same outfit he got on, but this guy saved up for his. And then when a woman approaches the one who earned his spot, and she asks him questions about, oh, I like your outfit. He be like, yeah, I saved up for it. She has a decision to make. She can say, oh, you saved up for it, or she can be like, oh, okay. And in her mind, she thinking, he saved up for it. And then he be like, yeah, you know, my job is this.
Oh, you want to get into it? You ready?
My job is this.
Oh, man.
And then she can view him, and he's being honest. This is him at his most vulnerable point, because he's now revealing his true inner self and allowing judgment to be passed while saying, I can't afford this. I had to save up for this outfit. This isn't my life. I saved up for this outfit.
For this weekend.
And I'm proud of it. And if you can't accept what I saved up for, I know you like what I'm wearing. And if she be like, she got 2 choices. If she stick around and have a conversation with him, then they might be in a really good spot. But if she be like, you saved up for it, and she gave the, like the chick you talking about with the crab legs and all that, all that, and she be hitting with the, oh my god, well, you ain't really getting it, you ain't got it like that, you fronting, That's what she could call fronting. Like, he saved up for it. So what? He still got it, but he saved up for it. Then she go to the ball, who just like, yeah, I'm getting money, I'm getting it. You see what I'm wearing? I got the Gucci, and he's loud about it. I got the Gucci belt with it, and he ain't saying he saved up for it when no actuality. He did the same shit my man did, but he lying, he fronting about it. And she like, oh yeah, all right, cool. Now she got the dude who full of shit when she could have got the dude who was being honest with her, but she chose the dude who full of shit. And now she like, oh yeah, this is the guy I want. Or yeah, you getting it, and then he got some car he may have rented. He might not have fuck. He might be Ubering. Who knows? Because he blew all his money with his fucking outfit. And then she choose him, the guy who fronting, versus the guy who was being honest from the door, telling her, listen, I can't afford this shit. I saved up for this. And then she got those 2 choices, and whatever choice she make is totally predicated on the future of their relationship.
No.
If she chooses the boy that's fronting or the dude that's keeping it 100,
being honest. You ready? Yo, now this is my philosophy, and this is what I tell any man. Whatever you do in life, the number one thing you're not supposed to do is chase a woman. Let me explain. You're supposed to be chasing life.
Chase the woman?
Wait, hold on. You know a good woman when you see one.
I chase the woman.
Let me break this down, because you might change your answer.
I'm doing coke.
It's okay.
What they call it, indoor allergies?
Yeah. So like, and you might, but you don't chase women. You chase life. Because in this pursuit of happiness, or in this pursuit of life, the right people are going to come along, and it's going to make you pause. But do not ever work to chase women. Work to become the best version of yourself. And we're going to do this is perfect for a part 3. Chase life. Whether that's like, I don't give a fuck if you want to climb Alaska with $12 in your pocket. There's because when it comes to women, right? I believe they should make you want to pause. And if they don't make you want to pause,
if you don't, you have to. There has to be a chase. There has to be.
No.
Chase is subjective because you chasing. In what facet are you chasing?
Okay, you ready? Now, if I meet a pretty chick at a club, right? Let's just say I met her. You know what I mean? And I don't go out locally. And it's rare I do. You know what I mean? I can't say I don't, but it's rare. Somebody has to call me up and say, yo, bro.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good. You know what I'm saying? But let's just say I do. You know what I mean? I have no interest of smashing anything that's out there. And it's not because of whatever. I don't want people to be misconstrued. I'm already on my journey. You have to be so good of a person that you want to make me pause and look at you and make say, hey.
What does that look like?
We're going to explain in part 3. But, we're time barred. You know what I mean? And we're going to explain. We're definitely going to explain this in part 3. But so we're going to toast goodbye. Shout out to the audience, you know what I mean? And we're going to do something I never did before. We want to end with the music being loud.
Burning, boy. There we go.